Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly video update for Friday, October the 9th. And we've had a kind of a strange last week or so to begin with, but today we ended up higher and higher on the week. In fact, it was the best week we've had in about 3 months. So let me show you this. If I go out here to a 5-day chart, I mean, as you can see, from 33.23 all the way up to 34.82. So I mean, a really good move this week higher. We've had a couple of interesting kind of gaps here, and we're in a really news-driven market with not only the coronavirus but also the election turmoil coming up, and also the stimulus. The question of stimulus: we're going to get a stimulus package or not? And we had been thinking that not, not before the election. And then it appeared today. If I go back here on a daily chart, sorry, where's my daily chart? One day, right here. Trump agreed to a $1.8 trillion plan, which was, in part, I haven't seen it exactly, but I don't know if it was additional PPP, but I know it was airline, to help the airlines and some of the other industries that have been hard hit by the coronavirus. So big spike up here, and then McConnell spoke, and it kind of faded that we don't have a deal, and so we're kind of back and forth, and ended up sitting basically right on the skyline right here, this voodoo skyline, right? And again, let me back this out and I'll show you. I'm just looking at the S&P right now because it gives us the best representation of the market. As you can see earlier in the week, this is a 5-day chart. This is a tree line here. The green is a tree line, and we were all over the tree line here. I'm not sure what this was here, but anyway, we've had crazy volatility swings and spikes all on the way, and we will continue to get that. And in fact, try to prepare yourself to expect more of that actually. So let's look at 10-day chart here. We're at 32.28. And then, of course, we'll go out here on a yearly chart, and this is really what I wanted to focus on here. If you guys remember from the last video that I did, this is the all-time high, the previous all-time high. Coronavirus, took us down here. The big smack down here, and then we've made our way straight back up here. Took out the all-time high there on that tree line, and hit a new all-time high, 35.88, and I'm still kind of baffled. We were 12 points away from 3,600 and couldn't get there on the SPX. But anyway, so if you guys remember, and I'll zoom in here, if you remember on the videos, the last video that I did, I was kind of trying to focus on, let me get my chart right. I was trying to focus on, obviously where the next movement might be, and of course we've been consolidating pretty heavily between this tree line, the snow line. We did poke down here a little bit, but I was expecting, some consolidation. We've had this a couple of times already this year where we get some consolidation. And in looking at this, I was thinking when I did the last video that this tree line probably would act as a pretty good resistance, and we probably come back down here to the snow line, or here to the snow line, or maybe even here to that tree line down below. But the market has a different idea, and we did clear it. We broke through it, and now we are heading higher here. Again, let me kind of reposition this a little bit. So we know that at least there's talks of some form of stimulus, happening. So that's obviously very positive for the market. And also volatility is actually dropping a little bit. I don't think that will be the case for long. And I do think if we look at the chart, we should expect that we're going to come back up here to all-time high, maybe even take that out. Now, I don't know if that's before the election or not. It depends on how the next debates go, or if we even have them, and all of the volatility associated with all that, right? So big question mark here. I suspect we do keep going higher. It looks, everything looks very strong on a chart, but even in the best case, we won't go straight up, so we go 2 steps up and one back, and 3 up and 1 back, and 2 up and 1 back, that kind of thing as we work our way higher here. If things just start really beginning to fall apart, or more coronavirus news or whatever, of course we could come back down here, but again, I'm not expecting anything like this. I'm just not expecting that to happen. Now after the election, who knows, and whoever wins the election, honestly, I am preparing more for a down move in either case, honestly. I think the focus will return back to the economy, and the economy is not that great, and I just at this point want to be a little defensive, on the downside here. I've started with a little tiny hedging down here below us, and as we go higher, I will probably kind of trail up some hedging. But for right now, we're kind of still in limbo, and it's still a little bit early. But again, expect some the volatility to increase, and also for us to around the election, everyone knows, or everyone's talking about the fact that the election, because of the mail-in ballots and all that stuff, there's probably contested, or at least will be delayed in getting actual results. So expect probably a spike in volatility around that event. Be ready. That's a good thing we can trade around, and as it gets a little bit closer, we will certainly look at how we can do that. So that really is all I've got for us right now. We just continue this this march higher, and I suspect that we come back to this all-time high and maybe take it out here. But the higher we go, the more dicey we get with the potential of a huge event in November coming up, and we've got earnings coming up starting next week, and we're already seeing from earnings that the consensus is for across the board on the S&P 500 that there's going to be about a 20% drop in earnings, and so because of coronavirus and the effect on that kind of stuff. So just again, be careful, size accordingly if you're trading. If you've got profits, kind of take those or lock them in or whatever. It's always, cash is a position, and it's always good to be nimble around a big event. This is one of the biggest ones we've had, so be ready around the election, and with that, we will continue to trade this thing higher with an eye on the downside for a little protection, but that's what I'm looking at. So again, that's on the S&P 500. All the other markets relate to this, the NASDAQ, etc. So trade it day by day, and be careful out there. So have a great rest of the day. Hope this helps, and I'll see you at the next update. Take care.